Hi, this is Mandy from SunflowersAndDors. Welcome back to my channel. Really good to be here back at the crafting table. This is my first sit down since Christmas, and unfortunately Christmas went by very quickly, and I was in bed with an infection. So yeah, it's been a strange Christmas. We see so much build up, don't we? And then we kind of, it's over before we know it. Excuse me, sorry. So I've just started to work on another ideas book for myself, and I wanted to try a new closure or new signature method that Cori from Creating with Scraps used, and I thought I may as well actually do this on camera. So I've started doing some preparation, and in preparation what I've done is I had some A4 pieces of card and I've cut them down, and I've cut them at 7.5 inches. No, that's the wrong one there, wrong measurement. Yeah, no, that's right. I cut it at 7.5 inches wide. And I left the height to whatever then was there for the A4 card, which was 21 centimetres, just over 8.25 inches. So I left that height because that suits me. And I went across 7.5. And then what I did, I don't know whether you can see the score lines here. Trying to show there. I then scored, let's move all this out of the way. I then scored at 6 5/8, which was here, my first score line. And then I scored again at 6 3/4 of an inch. And I scored that on all of my pages. I think I did 16. And these are going to be my signature pages. So that is where I'm at in terms of project. Now, what I did do is I had all this paper left over. So I quickly looked at what I had and thought, what can I make to go in there? So I had some just foldable booklet things. I've got a couple of those which will come in really handy. I cut some of the paper down to tag size, which will come in really handy. I've cut some of the paper down here to have some small scrapbooks. And I've got some papers here that I thought I'll use for scrap cards. I had some here and I folded them over 3 times with a little bit hanging over because I don't know whether I'm going to attach that to the page or how I'm going to work that yet, but that'll literally be a fold out journaling spot. So I haven't really had to do anything with any of these. And then I had some smaller pieces then where I literally just folded them in half. And these will just be flip over journal spots to go in pockets or tucks or whatever. So I was determined not to waste any of the card. Not that I would have wasted it, but I just wanted to use all of that. And so I thought if I cut them all ready now, then as I start to build and put my bits and pieces together, the idea is this will provide some just plain basic ephemera that I can use inside of the examples that I'm going to put in my my ideas book. So they're all my leftovers. I've also got these tiny strips here, which again I'm going to keep because I am 100% confident that I will be able to use those as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these at the 2 score lines. And I always have a trouble when the score lines are so close together, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm sorry, keep going off camera as well. Okay, so I'm scoring I've scored 2 score lines there, and I folded at both of those 2 score lines. So if you can see, I've given myself a bit of an 1/8 of an inch kind of grow room on that, and I end up with this piece here, just like that. Okay, I'm not going to burnish them because I want there to be a little bit of movement in there. I don't want it to be so rigid that they won't do anything, but that is the idea. So I'm going to do that with each of them. Now, I haven't already done it because I'm going to then start to attach them as I'm doing it. So I'm just going to show you one at a time. I may speed some of this up once I've done 1 or 2 on the video, so I won't subject you to hours of me trying to fold card. Okay. So I've got my 2 pieces there then, with my rim or edge or whatever you want to call it. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to glue them together like this. So the pieces that stick out are both going to stick out, and I'm going to glue those down like so. So I'm just going to glue along here. Like that. And I'm going to stand it up. I'm going to pop this one against it, and I'm going to hold them together just to make sure that that has caught. Just clip those a second, and while I've got still a little bit of manoeuvrability, I'm just going to make sure these are even everywhere. Okay, so that is number 1. And I'm going to do the same now with the others. Sorry, I've got the shakes today as well, so I don't know how successful this event is going to be, but I was determined not to lose any more days, and yeah, that is where I'm at. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same. By the time I folded down the new one, the first one should, in theory, have stuck by now. So I'm going to do exactly the same. The fold down pieces are both facing me. I'm going to pop this in here, and that should then go alongside there, like that. Just again, make sure that they're even everywhere. And you can work from back to front or front to back, however you want to do it. So there's 3 there that are in there already, okay? And they are sticking quite nicely. So on to the 4th one, and then I'll probably skip over. Now this card I'm using, I might have to burnish these actually, because the card is 300 GSM cream card, and it's deckled or hammered, I think they call it. So it's got a slight texture to the card. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, that is the card I'm using. So it's pretty sturdy. It's probably sturdier than any other signatures that I would choose to use. Okay, so again, I'm gonna, oh, I did that the backwards, so I'm gonna have to go back on this one. Exactly the same process. Just literally make sure that those are even. And again here, this one's slightly, oh gosh, slightly out, so just play with that until it goes in. And it's worth taking the extra time just for this process, because you'll then end up with even pieces, which is what, of course, you're after. Right, I'm going to pause now and I'll come back to you when I've done the rest of these. Okay, so you'll have to excuse the glare today as well, I'm sorry. So what I've done is I put them all together, okay? So I've actually used, I think, 17 pieces in the end, not 16. But as you'll see, this end piece here pretty much is as wide as my spine's going to go. Now, I could allow it to be wider and gator mouth, but if I keep my pieces reasonably small, it shouldn't really grow much more than this. And the other great thing with this is you can add as many more pieces on as you want, or take as many off as you want. You can have this literally as big or as small as you want it to be. And the other great thing is when you're using it, no matter what page you're on, they'll... Oh, that's what I wanted to cut off. There you go, that's why I've got the extra piece. No matter what page you're on, they will lie perfectly flat. Now, I've got a little bit to do in terms of touching up some of these areas here, which I am... Oops-a-daisy, which I am going to do really badly there. Which I will do, not on camera though. And then what's going to happen is I'll end up cutting this piece off here, but we'll end up then putting a spine on, and the spine's going to be fabric spine, so either fabric or lace. I haven't decided which yet. And I'm going to have the piece here, and then I will attach this one side here and one side here, if you like. So that's probably not explaining it particularly well. Let's get this. I'll have one piece of my spine, say the fabric is here, I'll have my spine here, so the spine will actually attach in the middle. That's really bad as well, gosh. That'll attach on the fabric like that, okay? So all of this will be glued onto the fabric, and then I'll have a little space either side, and I'll have my outer and inside covers. So I'm going to have two covers for this. One is going to be on the outside, obviously. The other one's going to be on the inside, but it's also going to allow me to tuck the lace or the fabric in between the two, so almost sandwich it in between the two pieces. And the great thing with that, again, is that it keeps it really, really secure. But you'll have loads of room, loads of wiggle room, loads of play room. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying that, because this is a completely new one for me. I do love watching Cori's videos. She is absolutely superb. And if you haven't seen her video on putting this, or she doesn't actually do a video on putting it together, rather than she explains how she put it together, and she uses a journal and shows you the completed journal using this technique. So that'll be really interesting to see. So I will link Cori's channel below. Excuse me, just so that you can pop over there and have a look if you haven't seen it already. But yeah, the next step on this is literally going to be able to try and keep them really short videos, and I'm not going to show you a page by page of the layout insides like I did on my other ideas book. This one is literally going to be for my own use when I come across something. So you'll probably see the individual pieces rather than the layout, or rather than the ideas book being filled up individually. And then what I will do is do a final flip through, and I'll be able to then cross-reference any of the videos that I've done. Some of these may be popping in some pieces that other people have put together and sent me. So yeah, I haven't decided 100% what it's going to look like yet, but I wanted to try this new process. And I also wanted to get rid of some of the card that I've got. I've got so much of this card and it just won't go through my printer. So unless I buy a new printer, which may be the case this year, unless I do that, I had to use the card for backing or other bits and pieces, and I thought it would make a fantastic signature for my journal. So I'm going to leave it there. And then when we do come back, hopefully you will see the journal covers being put together and attached, and then I'll kind of work on the rest, as I said, off camera, and you can see the final flip through when I'm done. I don't know actually if this is going to be the introduction to the new project or whether I'm just going to tag it on, sorry, an introduction to the new episode, or whether I'm just going to tag it on. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to cut this off. No. So we're building a no-sew journal, and I am going to cut this piece here because this was our extra bit here. So I'm just going to cut it off. Like so. And then I can just try and trim that because it's a bit messy. I should have cut this off when I was gluing everything together, but I'd forgotten all about it, so I'm just going to do that now. Okay. Okay. So this is where we left off last time with our journal. Spine, or signatures, and the spine mixed together. And we put together the covers. Now I've just cut those down now so they're nice and finished. And all I am going to do, might need to tape that one on a bit. It looks like it's coming off. And all I'm going to do now to attach these is I'm going to add some lace. Literally, lace is all I'm going to use to attach these. So I need a piece of lace long and wide enough, and I don't have many options. So I'm hoping this one will work. It's dark enough, so I'm hoping that it'll kind of be okay. I'm putting these back on, and I don't need to because I actually need two pieces. So hang on a second. Okay. So I've cut two pieces of length ribbon, which are lace even, start again, which are the same length as my journal's going to be. And what I'm going to do is I need to see how much room these are going to take, and then I can work out roughly how much of these needs to go on here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm holding this obviously smack in the middle there, and then I'm trying to work out how much of this I've got that can go on here. So I know I can play with that amount. So I'm just going to get a bit of tape to hold the card down. Like that. And I am going to see if I can hold the ribbon down too, like that. And then I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to go down the end here. so cold in here that I'm not even sure that the Fabri-Tac knows that it's supposed to come out of this hole. Now I'm doing this, and I'm not even thinking about it actually, but I'm doing this on the inside cover. So not the outside cover, it's actually on the inside cover. So that is going to go like that. I think that's relatively straight. Okay, so that's the one. And then I'm going to go straight over and do the other one. I'm hoping, I don't know whether this is turned again. Let me just check the angle of this because it keeps moving. Okay, so I'm going to pop my journal out of the way. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So I know roughly where this is going to go. All I need to do is work out which kind of line I'm putting this on here. So that is going to be here. About there, I think. Okay, that looks to be okay. Yeah, so I am going to do exactly the same, and I'm going to glue down this one side. Now, if this ribbon isn't strong enough or doesn't take, then I can always redo it, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, and that is literally how I'm going to do this. I didn't need to cut a second piece. It was the second pieces of the card I was thinking of. It's clever. So these are my other two pieces of card where I'd cut the 4 out. And what I'm going to be doing with these is I'm going to be gluing them like this. So your lace is in between. Okay. That is the, oops, daisy. It's not quite as gentle as I had hoped it would be. But that is okay. So I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac down here. Like that. So that it's nice and secure. And then we're going to put some collal across here. Like that. And just making sure I've got enough on the edges. Don't want to go too close to the edges because I don't want it seeping out all over the place. Okay, and then I'm literally just going to pop my card on here and I'm going to make sure that it measures up. Front, back, everywhere else. And I'm going to use a couple of clips on that until it sticks. Okay, it's got to come down a bit there. fairly happy with that, and then I can just cut off any remaining bits afterwards. So I'm going to pop that on here until it's stuck. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So, Fabri-Tac on this bit here. And then I think actually I'm going to put a little bit of art glitter glue around the edges. And then we'll put some more collal in the centre. And again, all we're going to do is take our second piece here and we're going to match that up here. Like so. Yeah, that's fine. And we're going to clip that again, just so we're happy that that stays in place. Okay. So we'll end up with our book like this, and obviously we've got our tape, our material like that. Now what I think I'm going to do to bring it all together is I think I'm going to add the other piece of material that I cut. And I think I'm going to add that on top here. So it'll go down here. And that is going to go on here like that. And like that. And I am going to let that dry. I may need to put some more just on the edges to catch that, but at the moment I think that's okay. And I think it'll go okay with the cover, maybe. Didn't really have a lot of choice, but if I don't like it, then I can always recover that later on. So that is like that. I'm just going to trim off these edges. Do this actually like that. So that's one like that, and two like that. And I can tidy those up if I need to. And now the final piece of the process is we need to attach our spine. And that is going to be attached, literally, it's just going to be attached like that with some glue. Quite a tight fit, but I think, yeah, it'll work. So, to do that, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac again, and this time I'm going to put it on the spine here. Now, another way you can do this, I'm just putting it directly on the spine. You could create almost like another backing on this, so put another piece of card on. But I like the idea of the ribs, you know, the, what's them? You know what I mean? You know what I mean. No, but okay, so I'm just gonna rub this over really well with my fingers so that it, one, doesn't seep too much into the book, and two, I don't want it going all over the place on the outside either. So let's have a look, which is my, that's my one side, and that is my other side. So this is literally going to pop on like that. And I'm just going to hold that in place for a moment so it starts to catch. And I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on. Okay, and then I close up my covers, and I'm going to clamp that in place there. Should have some more of these, and then there like that. And I'm just going to really work that in. And as you will see, if it's still recording, which I hope it is, this outside layer piece isn't sticking, that's fine. Lace piece, because we put 2 layers on, an extra layer, but the inside one is sticking really well. And as you can see, these are fitting really well. So that's top and bottom, and literally that is our side piece. I'll need to do a little bit of touching up on some of these pieces here, which I may as well do when it's drying. Like that. And we're going to let that really dry, but I'll just give you a quick idea of what that's going to look like. So we're going to open it up, and we're going to have lace here. And then as we open each page, they'll lay flat every page lays flat because of the way we've done this. And if you open it up on here like this, all of your pages literally lay flat, which is great. And because of the way we've done the spine, you've got all of this grow room here to put your mix, whatever you're looking to do, inside. The only thing I might do, which I haven't done yet, is I might ink the edges of the pages, each of the actual pages, because I don't like the white or the cream. So I might go in, once this is dried fully, and ink the pages with a nice dark walnut stain. Just that one there. So that is it. That is going to be my third ideas book. Some ink there, so that's going to have to be covered. If I want to, I can put some lace in between here just to cover it, but this is my ideas book, so I'm not overly worried. And this was a much easier process than working with the first ideas book, because I did struggle with the stitching of that one, but this is perfect. And actually the lace goes well. So I'm just going to, as I said, I'm going to push that down there and pop these on just for a couple of hours so that I know it is nice and finished. And it's ready then to add to. I've already started making some things that I can put in there over the last couple of weeks. And yeah, it's ready to go. So I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Yeah, really pleased with how it turned out, because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. And I hope you liked it. As I said, it was inspired by Cori Dahmen, Creating with Scraps, and I will put Cori's details in the description box below. You'll probably at some point see a flip through of this journal once it's nice and full with lots of idea pieces. But until then, I just wanted to literally go through the building of the journal process. So yeah, I'll leave it there and say to you as always, stay safe and be well, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.